Hi people, hello again. On this video I'm gonna show you how to add a trigger and able to test our controllers, which is our endpoint. So in previous video I showed you how to create the controllers. So yeah, let's get started. So what I'm gonna do, the first thing that I'm gonna do here, I'm going to add a new NuGet package. So let's go to manage NuGet packages and look for Swagger. So we're gonna use first one, which is Swagger battle.asp.core.swagger. Let's just install it. So yeah, our Swagger is installed. So let's go to the startup and start to configure our Swagger. Yeah, let's configure our Swagger so that we can be able to use it. Some in our configure services, let's just configure our Swagger. I'm gonna say services dot add Swagger. So our add Swagger, we're gonna get it from the Swagger that we just installed. So it's add Swagger gen, and then now we can start to configure our Swagger. Let me just add this. Do I spell it right? How did our Swagger get installed? Let me just verify. With dependencies, properties. Okay, it's installed. And then I'm not sure. Let's figure out what's not. Okay. Let me just check this Swagger. I think the one I installed here is not the wrong one. I'm supposed to install this one. So let me remove this one. It's not the one that we need to use. We need this one. That's why it was giving us an error. We can able to use it. So let's go back to our startup. So now you can see our Swagger is there. So let's continue configuring our Swagger. So I'm gonna configure our Swagger. Which is we can see first we're gonna do our Swagger doc. So I'm gonna say this is version 1. Use new open API info. So it's come from API.model. This object. So we're gonna have things like title. So I'm gonna call this one phone API, and then the version is version 1. That's the description. And just say this API is an example to use if call in web API .NET Core 3.1. So yeah, so I want to add my contacts and other stuff, but if you want to add the contact, you can also do that. There's another property called contact, so you can do that at the extensions, terms of service, and so forth. So for now, I'm gonna just leave it for the sake of this tutorial. And this continue. So that one. Close that one. So line code. Now that's how we edit our Swagger. So this is our Swagger. That's how our Swagger gonna look like. So it's so simple and straightforward. So we're gonna go to configuration, and we're able to use this Swagger and define the endpoint for the Swagger. Let's continue. So I'm gonna add our Swagger. So what you can do, I'm just gonna add an app.use Swagger. And then we're gonna have again app dot use Swagger UI. So see it. That's that. Defining our Swagger UI. Use Swagger UI. Define the endpoint for Swagger. See that Swagger endpoint. So this is string. Let's see Swagger C1. Swagger.json says from the API. Maybe let's just put a version also, says field 1, and then that's it. So let's build, see if our application is fine, no errors, succeed. So let me just go and change our project so that it can point to our Swagger API. So to do that, we can go to project properties, and then see the builds. Everything is fine, and then we go to debug, and then on the launch, let's just type Swagger, and then save. So let's run and see if our Swagger is implemented correctly. Yeah, you can see our API definition is throwing an error. So to fix this error, we must put the routine in our API so that the API definition can know which get method and so forth. So I'm going to do that now. I can just stop writing our application. Yeah, let's go back to the controllers and add our routine so that we can resolve our problem. So I've noticed in these controllers a few mistakes that I made, so I'm gonna rectify now. So the first thing that we're gonna do, let's tell our controller to produce a JSON. So to do that, you gotta just add produce, and then application.json. So now we can go and add our root and our methods. So let's start with the get. So you can see here the get, our root. You can just say inside our HTTP and tell it what this get does. So I'm gonna say get phone books. So on another one, I'm gonna call this one get phone book by ID, and then our post, I will just say insert phone book, and then in our update, I'll just say update phone book, and then I'm gonna have a delete, so which I'm gonna say delete phone book. So I mentioned earlier that there are a few stuff that I need to change. You can see this one is not list, and then is get phone book, and then we didn't define a method to get phone book by ID in our interface, so we're gonna go and define it. So the other thing that I didn't do the mapping for our object, so I'm gonna show you now how to do that, the mapping. So let's just go and do it now. So let's just add a new folder. I'm gonna call it mapping. Just create a new class and call it auto mapper profile. So we're gonna inherit a profile, which is from AutoMapper, and then we can start doing our mapping. So I'm gonna create a constructor for this mapping, and then inside contract we can start to create our map. So in our map we're mapping the entity with the DTO. So we have phone book entity, we're mapping it to phone book DTO. So that's how you map it. So simple and straightforward. So again, we're gonna map our entry with our entry DTO. So yeah, that's how you do your mapping. So the other thing that I want to change, it was in our in our interfaces. If we can check, our interface doesn't have a get by ID, so I'm gonna create new one. So I'm gonna just edit there. So this one, it only return a phone book, doesn't return a list. So it's gonna be just a task of phone book, and then we're gonna pass an ID to get our phone book. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to our repository, phone book repository. We're gonna implement that method. So what we're gonna do, say async, we are going to get an entity and return it. So I'm gonna have a var entity, which is equals to await, get ID, and then we pass our ID, and then we return the entity. Just like that. Let's go back to our controller. So in our controller, where we get our phone book by ID, we're gonna just change it to get. Did I wrote that one? Check it again. Say get phone book, and then because this one is getting more than one, we're gonna just change it to get phone books, so that you can understand what method of doing. So let me go back to our controller. So this one is get phone book. So we're able to fix this one. You can see everything look fine. Let me just check the other methods that look fine. So now let's go to our entity and do the same. So this one again is going to produce our JSON. Let's copy that and go to entity, controller, produce JSON, our get. This one we're gonna say maybe get phone and choose, and then I'll say add phone entry, and this one I'll just say update phone entry, and then this one just say delete phone entry. So you see, last time when you copy, we weren't able to change this method, so I'm gonna just say delete entry, and this one I'll just say update entry, and then this one, let's see, add entry. Yeah, so again we go to our interface. Let me just change this one to add in, to the get entries, and then we're gonna have again get entry by ID. So again, this one gonna just return an entry. Choose entry, pass an ID. So let's go to our implementation and implement this method. So again, I'll do the same thing that we did in our phone book. Gonna just say down entry equals to await. Get the ID, pass an ID, and then within made a mistake. I'll just check here. Let's get entry, but I think making okay, it's not a problem. So this one, let's get this one and put it there. So this one I'm gonna just entry equals to await. Get the ID, pass an ID, and then return entry. So I'll get entry, got enter of an ID, but it's not that. It's just like that. So let's see. I'm gonna remove this one. And then let's see here. This one is get entries. And then we're going to implement the one to get by ID. I'll just copy that, drag that entry, entry by ID. So let's say that entry by ID, and I need an ID. So this method is get entry, we're gonna pass an ID. So let's just fix this one for entry. So everything look okay. So now let's just run and see our trigger. So you can see our trigger now is fixed. It's running fine. So let's test our application and see if everything is running. So the first thing that we're gonna do, let's insert a record in our database. So we're gonna just go there, create a try, and then add phone book. I'm gonna just put my name, and then let's see our code. So I'm gonna put some breaking point in our controller. I will put one in an add and the other one in our controller, so we can see if the mapping and everything is working correctly. So let's just start. So now we are testing our insert, so I'm gonna put it the breaking point there, and then let's execute and see. Execute, it failed, so it didn't even cache. So we can see the error that we get there, unable to resolve the service type AutoMapper while attempting to activate the EF core. So we didn't able to add the DI lifecycle for AutoMapper, so we can fix it now. Let's go and fix it in our startup class. So I'm gonna reset this one and able to fix it for you. So yeah, let's add our AutoMapper. So let's go to the startup class. So in our startup class, we need to add a DI, a dependency injection for our AutoMapper. So what we're gonna do, let's add a package for dependency injection for AutoMapper. So what you're gonna do, manage your NuGet. So let's search for AutoMapper. So we're gonna add AutoMapper.extension.microsoft injection. So I'm gonna install this one. So it's installed. Let's go back to our startup, and then in our configure services, so we're gonna just add the dependency of our AutoMapper. So we can just say add AutoMapper So let's include our AutoMapper in our user classes. So as you know, this extension is from dependency injection. So what you're gonna do is gonna require extra parameters. So I'm gonna add domain dot domain dot get assembly, and then that's it. So now let's save, run it again, and see if our has been resolved. So again,